Okay, welcome to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo, Anthony Conover. I hope everybody had a happy, healthy, and a Merry Christmas. It's New Year's Eve, the last day of 2024, thank God.
The last day. Would you look at that? Another year flies on by.
Flies by.
They do.
In your long history of 24 years, they've been flying.
You know, everybody, I feel like after high school, it's just real quick. High school took forever, and now I graduated in 2018. I literally makes me sick to my stomach thinking it was that long ago.
I'm glad I got a cold. It's making a drag. So, all right, we'll be right back. A second. We're going to recap last week. We're going to evaluate the best we can this week, week 18. It's last week of the season. A lot of teams don't need anything. A lot of teams, we'll see when we recap it. Anyway, I'm going to give a shout out when we come back, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Welcome back to Taking Action. Once again, Anthony Conover, Chris Colombo. I'd like to do a special shout out to my brother Joey, who is with God now as we speak. His birthday was Christmas Eve. It was probably, a very difficult Christmas. So we got a shout out to his daughter Dina, John, her son, his grandson. Fine football player, nice young man. Jenna, most beautiful young lady you ever saw. My niece, Denise, and her daughter, Lainey, Joey, and Emily. A big special shout-out for Lainey and Emily. They're big fans of yours, Anthony.
Oh, appreciate it.
And his son, Joey Boy, his two beautiful girls, Stella and Lola.
Shout out to everybody.
A great shout-out to him. And I know your grandfather and your father is looking down on you as great pride of his. He's very, very, very successful, very good people. Proud to give it a shout out and Happy New Year. Okay, let's get down to what we get down to. Ed, you want to recap?
Yeah, let's look back at week 17. It kicked off with the Chiefs at the Steelers. The Chiefs came away with a 29-10 victory in that one. One of the picks that we did make.
I would make it again.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you look back on everything kind of lined up. The Steelers were getting the number one wide receiver back. Chris Jones didn't play for the Chiefs. The weakness of the Chiefs.
Home team underdog.
Yeah, the
Steelers needed the game. Chiefs never cover.
The weakness of the Chiefs is their offensive tackles. The Steelers have T.J. Watt. You think it would be a sack fest, and it was the complete opposite.
No, the Steelers at home, 2.5-point underdog. The problem was their offensive line caved. You can't blame Russell Wilson for anything there. I know he hasn't played fantastic the last couple of games, but his offensive line really caved on him. That was the deciding factor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chiefs has 6 sacks in this game, something of that, maybe 5.
And he's not an easy guy to sack.
So definitely, they were getting after him pretty easily.
Getting after him, their whole offensive line just let them through, untouched.
Yeah, not a good performance.
They could have changed jerseys and went on the other side and helped them sack them.
All right, we go to the Ravens at the Texans, and I mean, you want to talk about an awful game. 31-2, the Ravens win, just absolutely blew them out.
Yeah, I picked that last week on the show.
So
I kind of anticipated that. Wasn't a main pick because the Texans scare me. They just never do what I need them to do or what they're supposed to do, but they did it this week.
I was going to say, if we picked them, it would have been the opposite score. So
yeah, just the way it works with them. Ravens are a powerhouse. when that Henry's, he's just
Henry and Lamar.
There's no answer for those two.
I mean,
I just can't understand why they don't click in more games.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's a passing league now, they say. But the Ravens have done a great job running the ball, and sometimes it just doesn't click. I guess people key into it, but it is one beautiful thing to watch when it works. Thursday night was the Seahawks at the Bears.
Who picked that one?
That was me.
Yeah.
6-3. I literally just cannot believe that 9 total points were
It wasn't
scored.
a bad pick, but the Seahawks, in my opinion, are just not a worthy team.
9 points in an NFL game in 2024 is absurd to me.
Especially with a so-called high-powered offense.
I mean, Seahawks have 2 number 1 wide receivers on the team, and then Tyler Lockett, who's probably the best third that's ever existed. So, I mean, I was certainly surprised watching this game, to say the least.
Especially starting out at the 30-yard line.
Nobody could do anything. I mean, it's not like either one of these teams have some type of lockdown defense. So I was
all right, let's move on. Nice pick, Ant.
The Chargers and the Patriots. Chargers blew out the Pats 40-7. Herbert looked great. Ladd McConkey's doing well, rookie receiver for them. Nothing too crazy coming out of this game. So just a blowout.
I had liked the Patriots there. Broncos, Bengals.
Yeah, Broncos and the Bengals.
That's the team we were supposed to bet instead of the Seahawks, because 4 stars is my system, and I ask Anthony who he likes because I make my picks first. I don't show him what I like. That's why I don't want him, whatever. But 5 stars, that was the game we should have went with instead of the Seahawks.
And the Bengals got a 30-24 victory in that one in overtime. They kept their season alive with that win. Now they have a chance at the playoffs this week. Need some things to go their way, but man, is Joe Burrow playing unbelievable. Another game of 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has 8 games in a row.
You could say anything you want about Joe Burrow, but he's an old-time warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care about money, stature, ego. He is not a prima donna.
No, he just goes out, gets things done. Go over to the Cardinals and the Rams.
I got to tell you think he's as good as Tom Brady?
No.
Why not?
We gotta win some. We gotta win some Super Bowls.
I was just asking. I mean, I know you're not biased, but go ahead.
Gotta win some MVPs. Cardinals and the Rams. Rams with a 13-9 victory in that one.
They did not cover.
No, nothing too special going on in this game. Honestly, I think, I believe, well, with this win and then a couple other things that happened on Sunday, the Rams locked up a playoff spot, so they were officially in, but nothing special going on in that game for sure. The Colts at the sorry, it was the Colts at the Giants. Who would have thought? Besides you,
that one?
I was going to say besides you.
Who called that one?
A 45-33 victory for the Giants over the Colts. Yeah, no.
And they jeopardized the number 1 draft pick.
Not even jeopardize it. They went from the first overall pick to the 4th.
To the 4th. To beat the Colts.
Knock the Colts out of the playoffs.
What I tell you why I liked.
No, they're spoilers.
Not that. What else? They have an innate way of not only just spoiling when they get the number 1 draft pick. Historically. I mean, I did break the spell with the Giants twice this season, going against them and once with them. And I just don't know how you can blow a number 1 draft pick to come out and score 45 points against the Colts.
First time they scored
just
40
to spoil
points.
the Colts, and they're not even a rivalry. They're not I just got to tell you, the Giants have to be the evilest team in football.
Yeah, no. That was the first time they scored 40 points since like 2019 or something
45.
crazy.
How about the Colts scored 23 points on the road against the Giants and losing by almost 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I know.
And they wanted to win.
They needed to win. They were out of the playoffs after that loss.
Now they screwed them, screwed themselves, screwed the fans. Go Giants. Let's go next.
That would be the Raiders and the Saints. Raiders with a 25-10 victory here. Another team kind of screwing up their draft stock, but, it is what it is.
Raiders just the bad boys of football. They always were.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
they're just the Raiders.
Titans and the Jaguars.
But who picked the Raiders there, Ed?
Yeah, there's a circle there.
Okay.
The Titans and the Jags. Jags with a 30-13 victory. In that one, definitely nothing worthy coming out of that game. Both teams have been eliminated for a while. I guess Mac Jones played well for once. Jets and the Bills. Bills clobbered the Jets as per usual. 40-14 in that one. Josh Allen continuing on his MVP race.
Yeah, and I heard that the Bills are looking to pick up Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. Is that true?
I did not hear that one.
I was wondering if you heard that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting choice, to say the least.
Go ahead.
Panthers and the Buccaneers. Bucks destroyed the Panthers 48-14. A lot of blowouts this week. So 48-14 in that one. Nothing fancy. I mean, Baker Mayfield played out of his mind. 359, 5 touchdowns.
I got to tell you.
No, he's found a home there.
Yes.
He has absolutely found a home there.
Yes. And without a lot of his weapons, he's winning.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Chris Godwin's been out for the season. Mike Evans was down with a hamstring for a few games. Obviously, he's back
his
now.
Tight end's really stepped up.
Yeah. Tight end Bucky Irving, the rookie running back, he's stepped up tremendously.
Taking passes.
They've played very well.
Packers Vikings.
Packers and the Vikings, yes.
We had a little bit of a tiff there. That was one of our main picks we put up on the juice reel. And the value of the juice reel is it went from Vikings 1.5. We bet it at -1. It went to Packers 1.5. Yeah. And I told Anthony to double hit it and double the amount, because if I love it at 1, laying 1, I got to love it at +1.5. I don't know what happened there. I think Anthony was looking out for my best interest. Whatever it was a protective thing. It wasn't a thing, but it's been a learning experience for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is always learning. Yeah, obviously the Vikings win with a 27-25 victory there. So good on that one. This game next week against the Lions is going to be fantastic. The Dolphins and the Browns. Dolphins 20-3. They get the win there. I believe they kept their playoff hopes alive at the time. I think actually no, they're still in it. They still got an outside chance to make it as well. So needed that victory.
This is going to be a very lopsided playoffs.
It's going to be interesting.
The wild card's going to be lopsided.
You think?
Well, the second round afterwards. I mean, you got a division there with you may not get in with 11-5.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the NFC. The 5th seed is going to be a 14-win team,
right?
So that is insane.
Ridiculous.
They should do reseeding. I think they should do it like the NBA. The best 1 through 8. You have division winners and the next 4 best, and just seed it properly. But
I don't like the way they do it.
Yeah, I don't like their seeding. I think it needs.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know how
Especially
you can.
Who was it lost the other night? They moved from the number 1 seed to the number 6.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it don't make any sense.
If the Lions and Vikings play, week 18, whoever loses that game, you're going to either be the 1 seed or the 5 seed. So you're going to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the NFC, or you're going to play most of your games on the road.
Doesn't make sense.
It's
1 game.
A little strange. But hey, maybe
and there's teams with half the. Let's go.
Cowboys and the Eagles. Eagles 41-7 victory there. Saquon Barkley's 101 yards away from the all-time rushing record for a season.
Another problem with the Giants.
Yeah, I know. We're like, Saquon, and then now he's going to break the karma is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Eagles play the Giants in week 18. He's 101 yards. His former team, he's 100 yards away from breaking the rushing record. I wonder if they'll let him do it. I wonder if they're going to play him.
Is one hell of a running back.
I mean, yeah, he's over 2,000 yards this year. So, I mean, if it wasn't strictly a quarterback award, he'd probably be the MVP, but you have to be the greatest thing to ever touch the planet to win the MVP as a non-quarterback.
Who deserves the MVP this year? I think it's Josh Allen.
I mean, I just said that quarterbacks.
Or Burrows.
No, listen, honestly, if Burrow had a win, like a 10-win season, he would be the MVP. I mean, he's been unbelievable.
The games he lost by like.
Oh, yeah, no. They lost to the Ravens on a field goal. They lost to the Chiefs on a field goal, I think. Yeah, honestly, it probably should be Joe Burrow. He won't win it because I don't think the team's record is good enough.
I think it's between him and Josh Allen.
It's probably going to end up being between Josh Allen and Lamar.
Yeah.
And then I think Saquon.
Saquon is definitely in there.
I think they're going to throw him a bone and make him a finalist. He won't win it, but I mean, you can make the argument for all
Aaron
four.
Rodgers?
Yeah, imagine.
He should have retired.
Yes, he should have.
Yes, he disrupted that whole Jet organization, dismantled one of the best defenses I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it's a tough life, Jet fans. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I mean, then again, the Patriots aren't good right now either, but they're still not as bad as the Jets.
But at least they don't shoot themselves in the foot and let their quarterback take over the team.
Yes, he literally took over the
team.
Yes.
I heard he even hijacked the plane. Didn't like the schedule. Go ahead.
Falcons and the Commanders, overtime victory for the Commanders in that one. Great game. Michael Penix in his second career start played very well, led them on a game-tying drive. And then obviously the Commanders got the ball in overtime and they scored the touchdown to win it. But very entertaining game in that one.
Entertaining?
Yes.
Well, all right. So what entertains you? Go ahead. Are you not entertained?
I was very entertained in this game.
All right. Don't get too excited.
The Lions and the 49ers, that was the Monday night game, which wrapped up week 17.
And we bet it.
Yes, we did. Lions obviously get the cover there with a 40-34 victory.
It was a much...
Yeah, it was not. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean,
that's not a real 40-34.
Yeah, the 49ers
scored 40-21.
49ers scored a touchdown with like 50 seconds left to make it 34. So I think it was. Yeah, I don't know, but it wasn't a real 34.
It was beat the clock.
You could basically take that last touchdown away. So it wasn't as close as it seems. So
yes. Terrible onside kick.
Yeah, it was terrible. Went right out of bounds.
Yes, he pile drived it out of bounds.
Yeah, listen, that was fine with me because now in our luck, they would have recovered it and threw a Hail Mary.
Our luck is very good. Trust me.
Threw a Hail Mary or something.
What little structure, organization, and scheduling is what we need. All right, let's move it on. I'll go into this week's. I'd like to say one thing, though. Our luck is very good because if you go back to my picks, if we went with my 5-star picks, we'd be having a banner season. The good thing is, though, you can never learn this business team. Put your money up and skin your knees. Anthony has done that certainly this season. Would you agree? And even though I didn't give you, I don't think it's a losing season. It's just not a great season, right?
I mean, I have to go back and look. I know that it's definitely
the 6-1 parlay didn't hurt.
Yeah.
And some of the double bets. It's close. I'm over 50-something, which for me sucks, but not the point. Point of the matter is, when I do leave to Anthony, you will have a longevity situation. We're going to be here for baseball, and let's see what happens in the playoffs. I'll make it up. Trust me. I mean, I had a 15 out of 15 week. 80% of my weeks I was over 7-2 or 7-2. Just the main pick. We didn't commiserate probably, and let's go forward. Okay, Saints and Buccaneers. This is all out of whack because the way they did the schedule. So don't look at it in order of time or whatever. Saints, Buccaneers, Bucks -13, -14. I mean, I can't see betting the Saints, and I can't see laying 14. Seahawks, Rams. Went from Rams at home 2.5 to Seahawks 2.5. If I never saw the Seahawks again, it'd be too soon. The two lines, if you add them together, is almost more than they scored in the game.
This is true.
Okay, Bills, Patriots. Bills opened 5.5, went to 2.5. Total 44-45.5.
No, 40.5.
It's 40 now?
40.5, yeah.
40.5, okay. What's your thoughts on that game? You're a Patriot fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Bills are probably going to sit, I would imagine, a majority of their team, but I think the Patriots may sit Drake May as well, just because he got a little banged up in week 17.
So what are they saving him for?
I guess just to not get hurt in week 18 and somehow it affect next season. I mean, it is football. You could tear something on any play.
Let's go. Bears at Packers. Open 10, went to 9.5, 42.5 to 40.5. What do you like there?
Oh, man.
On to the next.
Yeah, I don't know.
Packers need the game?
No, Packers are in.
Packers are in. Bears
have been eliminated for a long time.
Yeah. Well, that 3 points really hurt them against the Seahawks.
Yes, it did.
Dolphins -2.5 at the Jets. I think the Dolphins need the game.
They do need the game. They need to beat the Jets.
Okay. I think I like the Dolphins. I don't like to go against home team underdog. Jets haven't showed me much, but their team likes to spoil too. But Dolphins need the game. Jets haven't showed me much. 2.5 is not a lot to live. There's no real bad hook in there unless somebody mixes an extra point. I think I like the Dolphins. What do you say?
Yeah. So,
Browns, Ravens. Open 16, went to 17.5, and I'm going to sell at 30. I don't think the Ravens need the game.
I think the division is still up for grabs, but I don't know. I have to look at all the playoff scenarios and things like that because it gets confusing when you get to this time of the year.
We're going to research it further, but as far as I'm concerned, 17.5 is a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
But the Browns, I don't think they scored 17.5 in their history. But anyway, moving forward. Chiefs at the Broncos, 39.5 dropped to 39. So that's pretty much telling you they expect it to be a one-sided game. And the Broncos opened 6.5 at home, went to 9. That's a lot of points. But they're expecting to sit almost the entire Chief team. Yes. I don't know if they do or they don't. You know, they may sometimes they let the quarterback loosen his arm up.
Yeah, play a couple series or something.
Yeah, so Mahomes may throw 4 touchdowns and sit down. But it's a lot of points, but the Broncos need the game. The Chiefs do not. Who's the Chiefs' backup quarterback?
I believe it's Carson Wentz.
Bad quarterback.
I do believe.
We're going to research that further, but I got to tell you, I like the Broncos in that game. Chiefs don't need it. Broncos do. Broncos are at home. I think the Broncos are a good organization. Okay. But the Chiefs are the team to beat this year.
They certainly have.
And they're considering this one of their worst years as far as performance.
I know.
What do you have, one loss?
I believe it's one loss, and people still think that they're to be had.
I don't know. They don't cover, but let me tell you, they do know how to play football. Chargers opened -3.5 at Raiders, went to 6. Total 42.5 dropped to 41. I don't think both teams are out, right?
No, Chargers are in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs?
Yep. Raiders are obviously eliminated on that.
I think the Chargers are going to have a rough time in the playoffs between you and I. Jaguars at Colts. That should be an interesting game. Colts opened 4 and went to 5.5. Why would the Colts move to 5.5?
Jaguars are just bad.
That's what you think? You don't think the Jaguars are good?
No, not even a little bit.
Pick it on the Jaguars. All right. Panthers and Falcons. Falcons open 7.5. They're still 7.5. 48 to 47.5. I don't like the Falcons at all. Well, I would rather take the 7 with the Panthers. I think they're going to spoil them. Okay, Commanders and Cowboys. Commanders open 4. They're down to 3. What's the situation with the Commanders?
Commanders are in. They can't win the division. They're in the playoffs, though, so I don't think they're playing for anything here. Maybe seeding. Well, I don't. But they're in the playoffs. So.
All right, Bengals -1.5. Went to 2.5 at Steelers. That's going to be a rough one. Steelers absolutely need the game now, right?
No, I mean, they're in the playoffs. The Steelers are. They've clinched the playoff spot. They're playing for the division, I believe. Bengals need it to have any chance of making the playoffs. They need to win this and then have a few things go their way.
You know, the problem with the Bengals is I don't think the defense is that good.
No, it's awful.
Problem, they can't put the kind of pressure last week that I got to tell you, I like the Bengals. And I'm an old Steeler fan. Okay, what do you think about that?
I mean, Bengals are definitely the more desperate team in Burrow. We just said it. Burrow's been unbelievable, so
I don't think they're going to give up that easy, and the Steelers don't give the.
I think they've won 5 games in a row.
But the problem is you're not going to have that pressure that was on. Bengals can't produce that kind of pressure.
No.
And I don't think their offensive line is going to not show up for 2 weeks in a row. I mean, they got a decent offensive line.
You would hope.
I don't know what happened to them. They must have got the flu, the whole team. They're just going around. I am sick. The whole country's sick. Mentally, too. Okay, 49ers opened at -1.5, dropped to -1 against the Cardinals at home. What's your take there, Ant?
Game means nothing to either team.
Yeah, but 49ers are coming to play.
I mean, yeah, they put up a good showing against the Lions.
But that was a nationally televised game. What time is this game? You didn't fill it in.
That would be a 4 o'clock.
I'm going to have to go with the 49ers because I think even though their season's over, they're coming to play football. But they were at home, too. But I still think they're coming to play football. I think that team has a lot of pride.
Oh, of course.
Okay, Texas against the Titans. Titans are at home. Opened up picking, went to 4.5. I have no comment. Texans are your team. If you want to talk about them, go ahead.
No.
They make me nauseous. Okay, this is the game that I think is the game of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
Vikings at Lions. Lions 3.5 dropped to 2.5. I love the Lions at 2.5 at home. I mean, the Vikings are very, very good, but Lions are very good at home.
Very good at home.
Goff has been playing better than I've ever seen Goff play before.
Oh, yeah, this is.
I mean, they were down how many points?
Well,
usually the rule of thumb is you go against the winner of Monday night. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, for the first 4 possessions, the 49ers scored a touchdown. So
yeah.
It was like, 7-0.
They came to play with nothing to lose.
Yeah. No, it was like 7-0, 7-6, 14-6. And the Lions would score. It was very back and forth. And then
it was 21-6 at one point.
And then
the Lions just roared.
As they usually do.
Well, I like the line at 2.5, which usually get 3 points for being home team you lay. They say the Vikings are half a point favorite. I don't see it. I think that's a wrong line. I think the Lions should be more. I'm going with the Lions there. What about you?
I mean, they've been unbelievable this entire season.
I got 4 stars. Do I put a 5th?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, you're with it. All right. There is no probably. Probabilities. Just remember, there's no short things in gambling. Giants at Eagles. That is there's no Monday night game. That's a Sunday night game?
No, that's just the last game.
Oh, it's just the last game?
Because, like I said,
the schedule screwed up.
Yeah. NFL didn't release the times.
Okay, what's your thoughts on that game?
I don't know. Saquon, I guess I would hope that they're gonna let him try and beat the rushing record. So,
they're gonna let him try and beat the rushing record. There's no doubt.
So I would assume that after he does that, the Eagles are gonna pull literally every starter that they have out of that game. So, because they're not playing for anything, obviously the Giants are out.
The Giants will probably lose if they pull their first stringers out.
Eagles aren't playing for anything. Giants aren't. So,
nah, they just like to spoil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, nothing to spoil on that one.
All right, that's it for Week 18. I'm going heavy in the playoffs. I have a few ideas in mind. Look to this week. Those are stuck with the juice reel. It will pay off. Look for some baseball. 2 money dogs and a parlay. When I was bookmaking not that long ago, I would only allow 1 money dog and a parlay in baseball was my rule. That's how devastating they are, too. And Anthony's knowledge of baseball is very good. My betting knowledge of baseball is significant because it's the only time of the year where I struggled, except handicapping now this year. But this has been a ridiculous season. when I pick 15 out of 15 and 7 and 2s and stuff like that, it's an inverted year. But however, if I bet my pick, we would have had a fantastic year.
Correct.
But we cooperated, but you're going to get the benefit of Anthony's knowledge down the road. I don't like losing money on weeks and not having a big season, but you will get that, I promise you. This is Chris Colombo signing off, wishing everybody a happy and healthy New Year. And
Happy New Year, everyone.
what is the playoffs now after this week?
I think they start right
Following
away.
week, right?
Yeah, I think it is the following week, yes.
Yes. Okay. So we'll be here for next week picking the playoffs. That's going to be a little strange, the wild card.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 and 14 teams.
A lot of teams now.
Everybody
plays.
A lot of teams.
6 games, I think.
Yeah, you got 50% teams going against teams that have 1-2 losses. So this is going to be an interesting playoffs. I'm mostly interested in what the lines are going to be. That's where our advantage is going to be. Ed, you got anything to say?
No, Happy New Year, everybody. Appreciate tuning into the show, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Okay. Good luck. God bless, and Happy New Year 2025.